Hello everyone, Richard Phillips back at you with some more Modern action, and I'm very excited to share with you this new updated blue-white mid-range deck with new War of the Spark cards. War of the Spark has gone live on Magic Online within the last 24 hours or so, maybe 36 at this point. And we're going to be trying out a few new cards in a blue-white mid-range strategy. It's blue-white control with a little bit of a mid-range creature emphasis. I've done a video on a similar deck that was Gideon-based, if you go check back in the history of this channel. Curryvore, who is a famous Japanese player and grinder on Magic Online, has kind of popularized this deck, as well as Francesco Neomati, who runs a blue-white mid-range Facebook group, which I'm assuming, if you're seeing this video, you're probably a member of. If not, you should check it out, as well as the Blue-White X control group on Facebook, where we talk about this archetype a lot. Just real briefly, some of the new cards that we get to play with is Teferi Time Raveler, which I'm really excited about. One of the weakest matchups for this deck previously was other control decks, and the fact that if you have Teferi out, opponents can't cast spells at instant speed makes it almost like trivial for us to resolve something like Kitchen Figs or a Restoration Angel, which is sometimes a big problem with this deck. So we're playing a couple of those. We're playing one Fblthp, the Lost. I love this card. I'm playing it in place of the fourth Wall of Omens. I just like the way that Fblthp can pile block with cards like Kitchen Finks and Restoration Angel. Wall of Omens itself is great, but maybe like the fourth one isn't needed. So maybe before the fourth one, we play one Fblthp. It's also nice about the Fblthp and the Vendilion clicks we have in the deck. Is we get to play a Eiganjo Castle, and it's almost free with the mana base. Like, we were going to play a Third Plains anyway, so the Third Plains is an Eiganjo Castle, and we get to prevent damage done to Fblthp or done to Vendilion clicks, and theoretically can get a little bit of value off of the Fblthp if the opponent eventually tries to kill it. We shuffle it back in and draw it again. So let's hope that something like that happens. It would be kind of cool. We're also playing a Dovin's Veto instead of a main deck Negate. I just want to try this out main. It's really good, obviously, against other control decks. I'm not sure if the white-blue casting cost is going to be an issue with our mana base. It might be. But trying one in the main, one in the side. We also are going to be playing one Blast Zone today. I really love this card. The mana in this deck is already greedy, and this is making it a little bit worse. So unsure exactly if Blast Zone is going to be amazing in this deck, but we'll try it. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. I mean, you know, worst case scenario, we can just blow something up on one, and it's more or less free. Like I said, the first one at least is probably pretty free. The mana base is a little greedy, but some of these lists play like one Ghost Quarter, and we're playing this instead of a Ghost Quarter. Unfortunately, it looks like my rental service kind of mismatched again, so bear with me, guys. I don't enjoy this particularly too much with the mismatch, but I'll work through it if you guys can too. In the board, we have a couple more creatures and some more removal. We got the Wrath of God, the Supreme Verdicts. We got some Graveyard and Artifact Hate, one more Dovin's Veto, Dispel, Disdainful Stroke, and multiple Celestial Purges for all the Shadow and Phoenix that's prevalent online. And with that, guys, we'll run into a competitive league, and we'll see how this blue-white mid-range with Teferi Time Raveler goes. All right, everyone. Welcome to round number 1. We are on the draw. I'm getting all of these stupid shortcut keys. I am recording my game. All right. Stop. All right. So we're going to keep this hand. We have Dovin's Veto into Kitchen Finks into Cryptic Command, and we can actually cast all of our spells, so it seems pretty good. The opponent's mulliganing to 4. We also have the new London Mulligan. I guess I should have mentioned that on Magic Online. I don't know if I've put out a video since the London Mulligan. I don't think I have. If our opponent's mulliganing to 4, I'm assuming they're on Dredge, which means we probably can't ever win. There's not really another deck that mulligans to 4. Yeah, this looks like Dredge. Yeah. Alright, well, this hand is not particularly set up well to beat Dredge game 1. But we'll give it a shot. There's probably not worth just conceding here. Looks like our opponent might not have a Dredger if they're doing this. Taking this long. Like, I would just immediately dump a Dredger. Maybe they just have a Dredger and something. Okay, they do have a Dredger and something else. Alright, so they're just taking their sweet old time. That's fair. Alright, Detention Sphere is a good draw, actually. That gets rid of all of one of the threats that our opponent has. The opponent just took a natural draw step there. That was so weird. Alright, the opponent just naturally drew and passed the turn. Alright, so we'll play this, and I guess we'll just Dovin's Veto pretty much anything that we can get a hand on. Are they just taking natural draw steps? They are. That's wild. Alright. I mean, I understand it. You do need 2 lands for the most part for this deck to kind of go off. But that's still just insane to me. Alright, so we're going to get down the kitchen Finks because we do need to kill our opponent, especially if our opponent has a City of Brass and is taking just draw steps. Alright, and the opponent concedes. Interesting. Alright, so I think our opponent was probably better off just trying to dredge the slow way each turn than trying to draw their second land like that. I don't know. I think that was close. Alright, so in this matchup, I like the surgical... Ooh, wow. Sorry, I have to resize everything. I made a new account on my computer. Cool. Alright, so surgical extractions coming in. Where's our rest in pieces are coming in. The Baneslayer Angel is almost impossible for our opponent to kill if we can actually get it down. And then the Celestial Purges are fine. And so are the Kitchen Finks is fine. Cards that I don't like in this matchup too much. And we're not set up terribly for it. We could probably trim like a Vendilion Click. The Teferis might just be too cute in this matchup. I can see that being the case, that they're just not impactful enough. Restoration Angels block really well. The Spell Snare can counter their Cathartic Reunion, which is actually a big deal, and also Assassin's Trophies to kill Rest in Peace. We can trim like maybe a Wrath of God, because that's not really the axis we want to be attacking our opponent on, especially if we're going to be playing more creatures like Baneslayer Angel. We can trim like a Serum Vision. We can also probably trim a land. Trimming a land isn't the worst, especially on the draw. So we can trim the Blast Zone. We're going to think of this Blast Zone a little bit like a spell in this deck, which is why it's the 25th land. It's almost like a spell that happens to use the land drop spot. So we'll board like this, bring these 5 in, take those 5 out. Anything else I can see? Yeah, that seems pretty good. Yeah, so we don't really want to just be wrathing our opponent unless we already have a Rest in Peace down. So, alright, and with the London Mulligan, this is a pretty easy Mulligan. We don't do anything till 3, so we're just going to ship that one immediately. This one doesn't have blue mana, so we'll just go to 5. This is a really bad 5. We should probably just go to 4. We're not going to... It's really hard to win this game anyway, so, like, sure, this one has... So we'll do... Like, we probably don't even need the Restoration Angel. 1, 2... 3, I guess. Just do something like that. So the opponent kept on 7, which means they probably have a really good hand. We probably can't beat this anyway, so... Best draw would be Surgical Extraction off the top, and even that's probably going to be too slow. Oh, okay. Well, we drew Surgical Extraction off the top. Cool, so I think we're just going to let our opponent... Yeah, we're just going to let our opponent dredge here, and then we'll take out something that they're going to bring back. Alright, so there's a Narcomoeba, so we'll just surgically extract these Narcomoebas now, I guess. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll just surgically extract the Narcomoebas. Okay, they even had one in hand. Oh, they had a surgical in hand? Why didn't they? That's so weird. They should have surgically extracted their own Narcomoeba. That's so weird. Alright, cool. So they're just going to pass the turn here. Well, that's good. Did they cut a Narcomoeba? Oh, no, we got 4 of them. Okay. Sure. Alright, so what else do they have in the deck? They have surgical. They have ley... Why do they have ley lines? This is a Rest in Peace deck. I have no idea what's going on, guys. Well, anyway, so what our opponent should have done is surgically extracted a Narcomoeba, so the other one would still trigger, and they would have gotten us really good. Like, that's... we would have gotten really got there if our opponent would have done that. because then the other one still would have come back, then the prized amalgam would have come back, and then they'd have 4 power on board. This way we're just going to play Rest in Peace, and that's... I mean, our opponent could theoretically come back, and we might not draw lands, so... Sure. Opponent surgically extracts our surgical extraction. That's... Alright. They might even concede here. Like, they look at our hand, they see a Rest in Peace, and that just might be it. See? I know some of you might have been asking why I didn't board out Snapcaster in this matchup. First off, the ability to Snapcaster Surgical Extraction is really good, especially if this was a Snapcaster Mage in hand. It would have been just as good as Rest in Peace here. Like, we could have just Snapcastered like Faithless Looting or something like that to reduce our opponent's chances of finding another Dredger, or we even could have just gotten the prized amalgam. They didn't even take the Surgical Extraction. That's, I don't know. I think our opponent doesn't really know what's up. Also could be missing something, so please let me know if I'm missing something. But, I mean, this seems like a fairly easy, just, we'll just exile that. Opponent will just take natural draw steps now. Yeah, they find a Shriekhorn, that's fine, that doesn't do anything. I guess they can start doing it on us, but, like... I don't really care about that. Play the island because we do want to have Cryptic mana up. Drawing lands is fine. We obviously do need to draw some way to win the game. Like a Baneslayer Angel, honestly, would be fine to great. Opponent just passes. There's a Wall of Omens, that's fine also. I'm going to play it before I play a land in case we draw a Celestial Colonnade. Okay, we do not. Just play that because our opponent knows about it. Alright, there's a Verdict, which is fine if our opponent ever does get a board presence. We can then Verdict it. Passes. We draw a Snapcaster Mage, which we'll just play because it's a clock, I guess. Our best draw is like Restoration Angel or Baneslayer Angel, like I said. Play a Snapcaster Mage to start getting in there. Celestial Colonnade's also not a bad draw. Flooded Strand is not either of those things. Attack our opponent. We don't have any Jaces in the deck or anything like that, so there's no reason to not crack the Flooded Strand. Okay, there's a Looting. Wow. Alright. Opponent's still not finding lands either. Crazy. Alright, there's Restoration Angel. Excellent. Is there a reason to main phase the Restoration Angel? Yeah, I guess there is, honestly, because we could draw like another Wall of Omens or something like that, so we'll just main phase it. Okay, Celestial Colony. There we go. Good reason to main phase it. Alright, so now the opponent's really far behind. They're going to have to play something just to block. Because they're going to be taking 7-9 next turn, so they're dead in 2 turns. Sure, that can't block. Alright, there's Field of Ruin. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. 2, 3, 4, 5. Activate this guy. Get in there. Alright, then during our opponent's draw step, we're going to... Or we'll do it during our opponent's upkeep, because they know they didn't have it. I don't remember seeing a Assassin's Trophy or anything like that in the deck, but if we get them off their green source here, then they certainly can't cast Assassin's Trophy, so even if they draw it for the turn, they won't be able to cast it. Cool. Alright, I think that's the game. Okay, they found the green source. So they get to cast a thing. They need 2 blockers, though, because the Bloodghast can't block. Sure. So they're still dead. Alright, so hopefully you guys saw that was... So a lot of people say that like decks like Dredge get better from the London Mulligan, and I disagree, and I think that Control actually gets a lot better from the London Mulligan, because we knew what we had to mulligan for, and we knew how good those cards were, and we found 2 of them in 4 cards, and then we beat our opponent because we had those 2 cards. Our opponent also misplayed, but yeah, that's it. Alright, so awesome. We'll move on to round number 2. I'll see you guys in just a few. Alright everyone, welcome to round number 2. We are in the draw. We have the Serum Visions, Dovin, Veto, Cryptic Command, lands. So this hand is probably bad against a lot of decks, but I don't think we can just throw it back. Like, what else would we be looking for? It is a little bit slow on the draw, but this deck in general is just a little bit slow on the draw. Like, you need to get a little bit lucky usually to win games on the draw with this deck in general. Post-board, you can, usually make up for it. So was this like Hardened Scales Affinity? I like this art a lot. Yeah, Hardened Scales Affinity. Okay, so we probably are just going to fire off the Serum Vision because we actually do know what we want in this matchup. The answer is Path to Exile. Path to Exile is really good in this matchup, especially with drawing a second Serum Visions. We'll definitely just fire off the first one now. Verdict is also pretty good. All right, so we'll bottom the other land, and we'll play the Supreme Verdict, or we'll draw the Supreme Verdict. Okay, opponent plays a Steel Overseer. That's fine. Here, I think we are just going to set up for a Dovin's Veto here. We don't need to Serum Visions into anything in particular. We wouldn't be using our mana very effectively. This turn or the next turn if we Serum Visioned. So next turn we can Serum Visions and hold up Dovin's Veto if they don't cast a Hardened Scales. I'm hoping they cast a Hardened Scales though. No, okay, so it's just a Ravager. Which is not good for us actually. It's getting a little bit rough. Okay. Let's draw some interaction here, please. No. Alright, so we will use the Serum Visions. Cryptic Command, Wall of Omens. So what's our plan here? So we're going to leave up Dovin's Veto here, then next turn we're probably going to Verdict, and then we'll play Cryptic Command, and then we'll play Cryptic Command, Wall of Omens. So I guess we do want both of them, as weird as that sounds. Alright, so we'll just hold up Dovin's Veto again, and then we can play Basic Plains into Verdict, and then Cryptic Command, play the Hallowed Fountain tapped, and then Wall of Omens Cryptic Command. We are going to be taking a lot of poison damage here. I'm unsure if our opponent's going to go all in on the Inkmoth Nexus. If they do, let's see, they can do, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, I think they can do 8 poison damage this turn. I'm pretty sure it's 8. And we're going to obviously just snap off a Dovin's Veto. Okay, so now they can, I think, do 10 if we don't. They would have to go for it. And going for it's really risky with blue-white with 2 mana open. So I don't think they'll go for it, but they could. So let's see, so this is going to become 3, so that's 5. That's 3. No, I think they're 1 off. Pretty sure they're going to be 1 off. Oh no, if they go for the Citadel too, then they have enough. So if they sack the Citadel, they'd have to go all in on a Inkmoth. Okay, so they're not going to do it. But unfortunately, the way that our hand is lining up means that this is awkward. So this Dovin's Veto normally would have been a negate. So far, it hasn't been bad that it's Dovin's Veto instead of negate from our mana. But it's been, the fact that it's not been a mana leak has been terrible so far in both matches. Okay, so there's Wall of Omens. Okay, so we're just dead if we don't interact with the Inkmoth Nexus. So we have to do that. How we're going to do it is a little bit awkward. We have to hope that they fire them up before combat, I guess. Like, our opponent, I think, has to make a mistake at this point for us to win. I don't think we can win without our opponent making a mistake. Alright, looks like they might make a mistake. Yeah, wow. Alright. So, we'll tap down the team and draw a card. Oh, we can also bounce something? Does that make any sense? So if we bounce the Inkmoth Nexus, does that mean we're, like, less dead? No, because they still have the Ravager. Yeah, so we're just going to tap and draw. Alright, we know we're drawing another Cryptic Command here. Oh, I guess I should have done this, obviously, before combat. That was dumb. But, okay. Sure. So our opponent, we're still on our main phase. This is stupid. We should have done this obviously before combat. Then our opponent couldn't use this mana. So yeah, stupid. So there's a Walking Ballista that we shouldn't have had to deal with that we now have to deal with. So we can do 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's still not even close to enough. There's another Verdict. All right, so we need a way to somehow. So there are ways that we can like continue to survive here, but it's still not. It's not looking good for the home team here. So what we need to do is we need to draw Snapcaster off the top so that we can, or another Cryptic Command so that we can Cryptic Command again. And then after we do that, we also then need to draw Teferi so that we can instant speed Supreme Verdict. So that when they go for it, we can then instant speed Supreme Verdict. Okay. I don't know what our opponent's doing. The right play here would be to not activate this other Inkmoth and just begin combat here. Our opponent just keeps screwing up. Alright, so we're going to tap all creatures and return the Inkmoth Nexus. And our opponent still can get out of this. What our opponent would do is just activate the Inkmoth Nexus and sacrifice it to the Arcbound Ravager, and then that's the game. Okay, well, they didn't do it, so we get another turn. This is a competitive league. It sees up here in the top, it says Competitive Modern League, Stage 1. So how that would work is that if the target of the bounce spell doesn't exist anymore, when Cryptic Command is resolving, the whole spell will fizzle because I only chose one target. So they just sacrifice the Inkmoth Nexus, and then we lose because the tap doesn't occur. So now we can Field of Ruin Verdict our opponent. That sounds really good, honestly. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we actually, hold on, we can't. Oh, that stinks. I mean, I guess we can try again. So it's the same type of thing. So we're going to Field of Ruin our opponent. They'll sacrifice this. Then this doesn't have a target, and then we just lose. But maybe our opponent doesn't know how their deck works again? Because that's our only out at this point. I guess our other out is Wall of Omens to draw exactly our third Cryptic Command. So what do you think the chances are that our opponent knows how their deck works a little bit? Probably nothing. Let's just do it quickly and see if they don't realize it. becomes a 1/1. Are they going to sacrifice it? Darn, they saw the line. Okay. We'll just play Wall of Omens. Okay, we drew a Fblthp. Alright. So, we're also dead here, but maybe our opponent doesn't go for it because they think we might have Path. So, see. Sure. Okay, I think this just adds to us being dead, but okay. Yes, this certainly adds to us being dead. Alright, so we're really dead. So what we have to hope is that our opponent doesn't go all in on one of these ballistas, because we're going to leave both ballistas unblocked. What? Alright, okay, whatever. You know, if the opponent wants to do this, that's fine. They didn't need to do any of this, but that's okay. So we're gonna survive? No, I mean, we're still dead, right? They 7... Yeah, they just moved the 7 counters over to... Alright, whatever. Well, I mean, we'll play the Verdict, but... That was definitely the more complicated way of going about doing that. I guess that played around Path a little bit better. Yeah, that played around Path a little bit better. I don't even know if they needed to do that, though. They probably just didn't even need to do anything. So now we need to draw Path here. Now we drew Spell Snare. Alright. Well, Verdict? Okay. I'm just going to F6. See if our opponent kills us. Okay. Yeah, so if we had a Path here, this is where we'd be able to disrupt our opponent and not die, but yeah, alright. So in this matchup, Rest in Peace is really good because it stops all the death triggers of Hangerback Walker and the Arcbound Ravager, as well as Stony Silence, obviously, for, you know, obvious reasons there. The Cataclysmic Gearhulk is also something that we could consider, so we'll put these up here in the top. As well as the Baneslayer Angel and the Wrath of God. These are all good considerations for this matchup. Cards that are a little bit worse in this matchup, probably Fblthp because of the walking ballistas. It doesn't seem very good. Same with the Vendilion clicks. They just don't match up well against the walking ballistas at all. Teferi's actually pretty good because we can bounce some stuff. Yeah, the deck seems pretty limited. The Blast Zone, again, just not a good matchup for... I guess we could blow up stuff on 1. It's probably not the worst. Alright, so we'll keep that in. The Dovin's Veto is bad. Mana Leak's probably fine. Okay, so there's really only like 4 cuts here that I really want to make. So maybe no Wrath of God, no Baneslayer Angel, no Cataclysmic Gearhulk. We'll just go like this. Choose an artifact, because they get to choose an artifact and a creature, and then they still get to keep a hardened scale, so it's probably not even all that good. So we'll just do this. All right. Yeah, this hand's fine. Very good, actually. This hand gets to play Rest in Peace and Path to Exile, which is great. We would like to draw land, so I'm probably just going to play the Flooded Strand and not crack it. There's no particular downside to not cracking it here because we don't need to get a duel. At least as of this stage, like this could come back to haunt us, but we currently don't need to get a duel, so I'm not going to. I'll just take a draw step here. See, okay, so they do have hardened scales, which is, you know, not amazing for us, but it's fine. All right, there's another Path to Exile, so that's pretty good. So we'll just get a white source here, and this, and we'll start with our Wall of Omens. Let's see, where'd that go? All right, there's a Stony Silence. All right, so we get to play. We can play Stony Silence and Rest in Peace, and then just hope to use the Path to Exiles to pick them off. All right, there's an Evolutionary Leap, Sacrifice, Reveal. Oh, there's our Blast Zone. Okay, Blast Zone's really cool here. So we'll play the Blast Zone, and we'll play the Stony Silence, and we'll pass the turn. So if our opponent doesn't do anything, we can just put charge counters on the Blast Zone, which is really cool. That's fine. I can actually block that one, so I'm not too worried. Okay, that's weird. They're just going to put counters on it. Oh, they're leaping. Okay, so we'll path it in response then. Alright, and they reveal another Arcbound Worker. Alright. Alright, so we can Serum Visions into Rest in Peace here. So we would like to bottom these cards. I guess we don't have to play the Rest in Peace here. Yeah, it's probably just not worth playing the Rest in Peace here. It's probably worth pathing our own wall just to hit our land drop. Yeah, I'm not going to play the Rest in Peace with multiple Snapcaster Mages in hand, especially if we have Path to Exile in the graveyard. Sure. That's fine also. Alright, so now the Path to Exile is a little bit more important. So we're gonna path our own thing to hit our land drop, then we can Snapcaster Path. We could also just blow up Blast Zone on one, which doesn't sound the worst. Blast Zone's pretty cool. Alright, so there's a land. So now we can snap, path, and then Rest in Peace. Oh, we can actually make... This is a really cool next level play we can make. Actually, I guess it's not that cool of a next level play. Alright, it's a medium play. So we can play Rest in Peace, and with the trigger on the stack, Snapcaster, kill something. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah, alright, so we're going to play this, and then we're going to hold control. Okay, so the opponent's just leaping. That's fine. Okay. Alright, they found another metal worker. Alright, so then there's no reason to tempt fate here. So we'll just do this, and then we'll path that. Cool. Alright. Sure. Okay, opponent has Arcbound Worker. That is fine. And then just leaps immediately, finding a walking ballista. Okay. 2/2 walking ballista that they cannot activate abilities from, so that's fine. There's Field of Ruin. That's good. Alright. I will trade my Snapcaster Mage with your walking ballista. Opponent does not want to take the trade. I wonder why. We could just blow up this Blast Zone on 1, honestly. It's not the worst. We can't blow it up on 2 because we have our Stony Silence and our Rest in Peace. Okay, opponent leaps into a Hangerback Walker. That's fine. That doesn't do anything either. Oh, yeah, okay, so now we're definitely just blowing up the Blast Zone on 1. Yeah, let's see what this is. A big old walking ballista for 4. Yeah, alright. So we'll blow up Blast Zone here. So our opponent just gets a 2/2. That's fine. Okay, and that Darksteel Citadel doesn't even tap for mana, which is nice. Alright, cool. Now we have Restoration Angels to attack our opponent in the air. We'll once again trade with your Hangerback Walker if you so desire. Or your Hangerback Walker. Did I say Walking Ballista? I might have said Walking Ballista. It doesn't matter. Alright. So if our opponent sacrifices it, it still doesn't get the death trigger because of the Rest in Pieces. So if they're planning on doing that, they should have blocked and then done it. So, okay. Apologize for the phone ringing there, guys. Alright. Arcbound Worker. It's fine. Ooh, animation module. This one's, I mean, theoretically good. So it's whenever 1/1 counter replaced, they can pay. They can actually make servos. They can't use the other ability, but can do the first one. All right. So they cast Ancient Stirrings. That's fine. Okay, opponent finds a Hangerback Walker. It's fine. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the one they've played. Alright. So they can make a servo here if they want. Okay. So the servo is going to hold off the Snapcaster Mages pretty well, I guess. But I don't really know if I care that much. Alright, so they get to make a couple of servos. Sure. Alright, cast this. No. Alright. Alright, Serum Visions is not a bad draw at all, because we can still cast our Restoration Angel. Detention Sphere, that's pretty good. Alright, so we would like to... top, so that we can then draw the Detention Sphere, or draw the Detention Sphere and then set up additional draws. We can Detention Sphere, probably just the Evolutionary Leap, I guess. That's where they're getting a lot of their value. Alright, so they found a Steel Overseer, which, I mean, is a card. It is a 1/1, so... Yeah, I guess they get that. They get a 1/1. Okay, that one is a little bit more annoying. We still have ways to kill it, like next turn, but... So hopefully they just plus it here, and then we get to play another resto. Okay, no, they're just making a thing. Alright, that's fine. So they got a 5/5. Which we should be able to race, no problem. Sure, okay. So our opponent gets to make a couple more servos here, which is fine. Hopefully they attack here. That would be wonderful. Yeah, please attack into my Snapcaster Mage. Okay. No, no attacks? Alright. No. Alright. So now we know we're drawing... On top is... Detention Sphere, and then I guess neither of these really matter. Yeah, neither of these are particularly good. So we'll then play the Detention Sphere, and then we can play the Snapcaster Mage if we want to. So we're going to get rid of the Evolutionary Leap, because that's how our opponent's actually just gaining advantage here. They're not really gaining advantage any other way. Okay, so they found a Walking Ballista. Yes, I'd like to use the ability. And then we get to attack the Karn with one, and you with the other. Okay. And now we can flash in the Snapcaster Mage if we want to. Sure, they have a Ravager, which is, I mean, they get to make servos here. Like, the servos are good, but... They're dead in 2 turns, and we can just chump with the construct a couple of times. Sure, like, that's fine also. They need to find a way to kill the Stony Silence. That's how they would go about winning this game here, is if they found an out to it on the top of their library. Okay, so we'll flash in Snapcaster Mage here. And then we'll... I guess just block like that, that's fine. Alright, so next turn we'll take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So our opponent would have to play 3 artifacts, and I don't think they can do that. Pretty sure they can't do that. They can make 2 artifacts, but not 3. Or they could find that. It's a pretty good one. Pretty good one. Fortunately, they still can't do any shenanigans with the Arcbound Ravager, but still. So they can... I don't know, we might be dead here. It'll be close. We'll see. Oh, yeah, this construct's just a 14-14. Yeah, so we probably shouldn't... We should not... Well, I guess they would just Walking Ballista kill it. Alright, well, we lost. It was a good top deck from our opponent. Alright, everyone, round 3. Playing some Fblthp mid-range shenanigans in Modern. We'll keep this hand. We get to go turn 2 Fblthp, turn 3 Kitchen Finks. We have to play our lands a little bit weird to do that, but I think that's fine. Hope you guys are doing wonderful today while we're waiting for our opponent. All right. So we'll start off with Celestial Colonnade. We have no idea what our opponent is playing. They're playing Rock. All right. So Fblthp's going to be cool because our opponent can't really kill it. So seems like a good one. Unsure if I want to fetch now or later. I guess we'll fetch now. It's not really. Just get a plane so that way we don't have to take a lot of pain to. Celestial Colonnade is really good in this matchup, so is Kitchen Finks. Kitchen Finks is really, really good in the matchup. Hopefully they don't have a Bob here, though. Can't really beat a Bob. Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, sounds good. Alright, so we'll play the island. We'll attack our opponent with the Fblthp. Go Fblthp. If our opponent Fatal pushes us, I'm going to laugh. Alright. Alright, already better than a Wall of Omens. Look at that. Kitchen Finks. Kitchen Finks is really good in this matchup. So now we do need to draw some action. Okay, the opponent has a Field of Ruin, that's fine. This is a... yeah, Tireless Tracker. Fine. Fine. Ooh, Blast Zone. That's cool. Alright, so we'll start by casting a Serum Visions. Oh, we drew a Path. Wow, that's perfect. Alright, so we'll bottom these. We don't want them. Play the Colonnade. Yeah, because our opponent can Field of Ruin something during our upkeep if we wait till our upkeep, so we'll just path it now. That's fine. Alright, so Fblthp has done 2 damage. Just keep that in mind, guys. The Fblthp clock. Sure. Nice Inquisition opponent. Just have a bunch of utility lands, man. Okay, Kalidas. Ooh, Kalidas with Kitchen Finks is a little rough. Oh, of course, we drew Restoration Angel, though. Alright. So, Colonnade versus Blast Zone. I guess Blast Zone just gives us more options to do things. I guess they have the Field of Ruin. Alright, so we'll not do that then. We're going to save the Blast Zone for a little bit later. And we'll just pass. That's fine. Okay, the opponent goes with Thoughtseize. We're just going to cast the Restoration Angel now. And we're going to target Fblthp. The reason we're going to target Fblthp here is if our opponent goes to kill the Fblthp in response, it'll actually just get shuffled into the library. And we could just draw a land. So if we try to target the Kitchen Finks, they try to kill the Kitchen Finks, then the Kitchen Finks would actually get exiled and they get a zombie. This way, if they try to like Fatal Push the Fblthp, it's actually going to be really funny. So I hope they attempt to Fatal Push the Fblthp here. Or like, what, trophy the Restoration Angel? I don't even know what's going to happen. Okay, that's what they're doing, sure. Yes, we'd like to blink Fblthp. Alright, so our opponent gets to take a Cryptic Command, but now it's in the graveyard for Snapcaster Mage. Opponent's at 12. They could attack with the Kalidas and trade with both the Kitchen Finks and the Fblthp. Yeah, so we'll just take that, that's fine. Alright, there's another Restoration Angel, which is nice. We also just get to attack with the... oh. Celestial Colonnade actually holds off the Kalidas pretty well, which is kind of funny. But then they can kill it with the Field of Ruin. That's so weird. There's a lot of weird things happening in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we'll just play the Hallowed Fountain tapped here. And pass the turn, I guess. And then we'll just block the Kalidas with the Restoration Angel. Liliana the Veil is actually really kind of unfortunate. Man, gonna make a sacrifice too? Jeez, alright. So we'll go now with the Restoration Angel. Blink the Fblthp. Because this way, if we draw a path here, we can path the Kalidas, and then we can just sacrifice the Kitchen Finks, and it'll come back. Okay. So we'll just sacrifice the Fblthp. Alright, the opponent does not attack. Interesting. Apologies once again for the phone call. Alright, so there's the Blast Zone that we're going to play. And then I think I'm just going to attack the Liliana with the Restoration Angel. Okay, what is this? Opponent goes after our Blast Zone. Okay, that's fine. That actually makes life a little bit easier for us. Oh, they must have Fatal Push. Yeesh. Huh. So maybe I could have seen that coming. But yeah, we're in a little bit of a rough patch here. Okay. So sure, that happens. We pass it. Now we're really just looking for Wrath, I guess. That's kind of, I guess, where we just have to be here. Like, we're still in okay shape if we draw Wrath. Like, not great shape, but okay shape. But we have to draw it, like, soon. Alright, so we'll activate a Colonnade. And we're going to throw a Finks in front of a zombie and a the Colonnade in front of one. The reason why we're doing this is so that if we actually do draw a Wrath, then our opponent doesn't get to... yeah, perfect. So this way our opponent doesn't actually get to get a zombie off of our Kitchen Finks. So if we draw a Wrath, it's actually just like a clean answer to the board. I draw a Field of Ruin, which isn't great, but I suppose it's a little bit better than nothing. So we can, I guess, so our opponent will attack with everything, and then we just throw a Celestial Colonnade into the Kalidas. Or we can kill the Liliana. Yeah, we probably just have to kill the Liliana. So I can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage to us. Yeah. Oh well. Alright. The opponent should not have fetched there because they have cards in their library that matter. Just Field of Ruin this now. Come becomes what does it become? An elemental. Okay. We have so few lands in our library left. I'm going to feel really sad if our opponent drew a Thoughtseize here, or an Inquisition. So we're at 7. So we're not just dead if we don't draw here. Ooh, a Ganjo Castle's not bad, actually. Alright, we'll play that. Alright, so during our opponent's draw step, we will Vendilion click them in case they drew, like, exactly... Oh boy, I don't even know. Like Maelstrom Pulse, I guess? It's kind of unreal how good... oh, is this an Assassin's Trophy? Yeah. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and get another Blades, I guess. We have Tireless Tracker. I'm going to let them have the Tireless Tracker, because we don't just lose the game. So they're going to attack with all of this stuff, and then we have to throw this in front of the Kalidas. Alright, so now we need Wrath of God, Snapcaster Mage, something like that. Vendilion Click. Vendilion Click does not do it. Alright. So in this matchup, Celestial Purges are very good. The Kitchen Finks is very good. The Baneslayer Angel can be good. Yeah. Alright, so I don't like Dovin's Veto, because it's terrible in a top deck war like that. Spell Snare is really good. See, a lot of these cards are good in this matchup. It shouldn't be a very hard matchup. We just got super unlucky that we couldn't find a Path to Exile for like the whole game. Or Snapcaster Mage, even. It's kind of rough. Maybe we can trim on like a Verdict. It's usually not that good. Especially post-board. Oh, Wrath of God's actually pretty good if they're playing Thrun, so we'll get rid of a Supreme Verdict then. And maybe we'll just cut a land, just because of how grindy this matchup is. It wouldn't be Blast Zone this time. It would be like Glacial Fortress. Yeah, alright, so we'll cut these 3 and we'll bring those 3 in. Maybe we'll cut... Yeah, maybe we should just cut a blue source. Yeah, we'll just cut an island. Alright. Yes, I'd like to play first. Yeah, this hand's very good. We don't even need to Serum Visions on 1 with this hand. I'd rather just set up my mana. Okay, so opponent goes with Treetop Village, that's fine. We'll get a Hollowed Fountain. Alright, and then we will fetch here for another Hollowed Fountain. And then play Serum Visions. Yeah, we want both of those. Cool. Alright, so our mana's all set up now. Our opponent's not doing anything, which is great, which means we just get to jam a Kitchen Finks here, which makes me very excited. Sure. Okay, the opponent takes that. Then we know we have another one on top of our library, which is nice. Wow, the opponent's still not doing anything. That's awesome. Alright. So we'll play the Field of Ruin because we do have the Cryptic Command, and it's not imperative that we get the Celestial Colonnade going yet. Opponent does have 2 more cards in hand, but we're ahead on board and ahead on lands, obviously because we're on the play. Let's hope they just don't play like a Thrun here. It's like the only thing that we don't have a good answer for right now is Thrun. Is there any reason to just like bounce a land here? Probably not. Alright, so now we can play the Celestial Colonnade. If the opponent wants to animate the Treetop Village to go and block, that's fine. I wonder what our opponent has in hand. It's a very strange hand. They might be like trying to wait for answers to Path to Exile and just meanwhile we're just beating them down with a kitchen Finks. I don't know. Do not know. Dark Confidant. Okay, that resolves. We'll just path it. Another Treetop Village. Alright. Alright, sure. We'll just path it here. Oh, and now we have a Spell Snare up too? This is awesome. Alright. Man, this Kitchen Finks has done all the damage so far. I think that's 12 damage this Kitchen Finks has done all by itself. Oh no, the Thoughtseize, so it's done 9 damage. That's still pretty solid though. Kalidas. Yeah, let's let Kalidas resolve. That's fine. We can path it. That's a pretty solid answer for it. Alright, so I have a feeling here that we're going to path this, and our opponent is then going to try to Assassin's Trophy this Kitchen Finks, and we'll Spell Snare that. No, okay, they didn't even have that. Sure. Alright, and we'll marginally thin our deck here with this fetch. Go to Plains, I guess. Alright, we'll start off with a Serum Visions, Restoration Angel, Wall of Omens. That's great. We will top the Wall of Omens and the Restoration Angel after that so we can cast both next turn. Get in there with the Kitchen Finks. If our opponent activates a Treetop Village here, I'll just let the trade happen. Yeah, this is fine. Sure. The opponent just passes. We'll go for the click. Actually, we'll go for the Field of Ruin first and then the click. Okay, then the opponent just concedes. Solid. All right. Anything we want to change here? mean, that seemed pretty good, right? We still haven't drawn a Teferi. We've gone through so much of our deck in both of those games and haven't seen a single Teferi. Not even like off a scry. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Oh boy. Alright, we're on the draw. This hand needs lands badly. If it finds lands bad, it's very good. It's got the spell snare, but I just don't think we can keep it. They kept 7. Yeah, let's mulligan. Alright, this hand's very good. Let's put, I guess, a land on the bottom. Alright, Serum Visions, the second is very good. Alright, so we do have an answer for a turn 2 Bob, or turn 3 Liliana, which is nice. Hopefully this is a Bob. No, it's not. Okay. It's an Ooze. Ooze is not... Like, we can beat an Ooze. Alright, I guess we're supposed to sequence this way. Alright, we do another Purge. There's a path on top. Interesting. So I guess we do want to top both of these. Yeah, we want to top both of these because the Wall of Omens blocks that really well. So we'll go top, top. We have a danger here that we might miss a land drop, but I think that's okay. Unless this is a Fulminator Mage. If this is a Fulminator Mage, then I'm going to feel really stupid. Okay. Yeah, alright. Now I feel stupid. Alright. It's not the worst, but we will now have to top deck lands. Okay. Really? Alright. That's fine. Sure. Yeah, the reason why I said that is because it just seems very incorrect to do that. Alright, so we draw land. We will just bottom non-lands. That's fine. Play this here, and we'll just go ahead and purge it right off the bat. And obviously our opponent's missing land drops, and so pathing them isn't ideal. But, you know, something like that we'd probably have to path. Sure, they eat a thing and attack us. That's fine. Can't believe they... This is not a very good use of Liliana. Alright, so we can... play this, bounce the Tarmogoyf, make them spend like their whole turn using it, mana for it, and draw a card. It kind of like sacrifices the Teferi, but that's probably okay. Because otherwise all we're doing is pathing something this turn, so we'll just bounce that. Oh, even true. Wow. Alright. Sweet. That worked out really well. Alright. Cool. Alright, so far it's very, very good. We just pulled all of the tempo back in this game. So very happy. See where our opponent goes with this attack. Alright, they do go after the Teferi. Do we want to save the Teferi? I mean, we're going to kill this at any point, so well, we might as well. Okay, sure. So our opponent has a Dark Confidant. That's fine. We have a Hollowed Fountain. So we will plus that, shock that in, Path the Dark Confidant. Cool, so now we have Cryptic Command up. Do we care about that? Not right now. We will in the future, though. We can also just end a turn. We can bounce it and draw a card. Yeah, there's Kalidas. All right, so we'll counter that and draw a card. Oh, Kitchen Finks. That's a good draw. All right. Ooh, and a Wall of Omens. Nice. All right, so Wall of Omens will go first. Restoration Angel. All right, so we'll just do that. Play that. Pass the turn. Oh, another Kalidas? They have so many Kalidas. It's a lot of Kalidas. All right, well, we have the Celestial Purge. But... jeez. All right. Goodbye, Teferi. Which is rough, but okay. Alright, and we'll just go ahead and kill this now, I guess. Pass the turn. Then we'll chump block with the Finks, and then Restoration Angel it. Confidant. Okay. Ooh, Finks again. Alright, I think we are going to want to play Restoration Angel here, but yeah. Alright. So we'll pass. We probably could have played the Finks and forced that move by our opponent. I wasn't sure if they'd make it or not. But, yeah. So there's a chance we could have, like, kind of gotten our opponent into making a bad play. But, you know, a little unsure. Alright, so what we're hoping is our opponent attacks the Dark Confidant. Alright, they reveal Collective Brutality. That's fine. So we know that their hand is something, Collective Brutality, something else. Please Collective Brutality, the Kitchen Finks. With escalation. Did they escalate it? Oh, they did. They escalated it. Targeting our opponent and Kitchen Finks. That's awesome. Alright. So they have a card in hand. Cool, so this is a 2 for 0. And then I'll just block with the Finks here. Because we're going to get it back. Or we could double block. No, I'll just single block. Because we're going to get it back. Opponent has some sort of removal spell here. Oh, there's just another Tarmogoyf. Never mind. Alright. Ooh, Cryptic Command. Alright. Yeah, so now I think we're just going to race our opponent. Because we have this, and then we have the Cryptic Command to tap him down. So yeah, this seems good. Yeah, Liliana the Veil, sure. Okay. You got it. Oh, sure. We'll discard that. They know I have a Restoration Angel in hand. I guess they just want me to kill the Dark Confidant. I guess that's fair. Alright, cool. So now we just... Alright, so we're going to tap our opponent's team and bounce the Treetop Village. Return that, tap all your stuff. And that'll be the game. Our opponent is thinking about how all of this went wrong. I guess I don't really know what's happening. I will. Oh, there you go. All right, cool. Yeah, all right, that's it. All right, we are 2-1 going into round number 3 or round number 4. I always do that. Make the chat a little bit smaller. All right, we have lost the die roll. This hand's mediocrely bad. Like, I guess we'd keep this 6, right? Like, if you just remove the Flooded Strand from it, you keep the 6. This is such an awkward hand. I guess it's good if our opponent's playing creatures. We can draw. I guess it kind of casts Cryptic. It doesn't even cast Cryptic Command. We're gonna mulligan it. All right, this hand's fine. Yeah, sure. All right, and we'll put the castle on the bottom. That's fine. All right. Now it's Tron. All right. Well, we should have kept the other hand then. Of course. This hand's not good against Tron. This matchup's not horrible, but this hand particularly is not good against Tron. Okay. So the opponent either must have Tron. I don't know. Whatever. Opponent must have Tron. That's the way they're playing this, like they have Tron in hand. Sure. Either that or they thought we were a Phoenix. Alright, there's Fblthp. Let's go. There's Mana Leak. Alright. Mana Leak's good. So if our opponent doesn't have Tron next turn, we might be able to Mana Leak something. Alright, they have Tron. Do they have Karn? No. They have a Walking Ballista. Alright. Fblthp down. Alright, Supreme Verdict. Alright, so we'll shock in the Hallowed Fountain. We'll pass the turn. Vendilion Click is really bad, but we might just Vendilion Click our opponent. No, I think we're just going to Mana Leak something. I don't know. I think this is close. Because if we cast Vendilion Click, like obviously if the opponent didn't have a Walking Ballista, all right, if they get Tower here, then I guess we just have to Vendilion Click them. No, they get a Forest. Okay. So that must mean that they don't really have anything. All right, so I guess we're just not going to do it then. If they got Tower, that meant that they had Ulamog. Sure, you got a Sylvan Scrying, that's fine. Alright, and they get Sanctum of Ugin. Alright. So now we'll play the Vendilion Click, targeting ourself, I believe. Because we want to hit a land drop. Yeah, so we're going to do ourself. Okay, opponent kills it. Get rid of the Verdict. Alright, Wall of Omens is fine to good. It's not as good as a land, but if we draw a land, we'll be okay. We do not, but I think we're so far behind at this point that we're going to have to play Wall of Omens and find a land. Okay, we found a land. Sure. Alright, there's the Sanctum. So, opponent's going to cast something big and then sacrifice the Sanctum. Alright. So we'll see what our opponent sacrifices, or what our opponent gets. Alright, they get the Ulamog. We'll Mana Leak this. Sure. Alright, so any other Tron piece will now let our opponent cast the Ulamog. So what we could do here is we can Cryptic Command the Tower to remove them from a turn from casting Ulamog. Or we can just, I guess, pass the turn. I don't know. Yeah, we're in a little bit of a rough spot here. We really need a Field of Ruin. Yeah, the other one would, I guess, would have given us 2 outs at a Field of Ruin, and this, what we're going to wind up doing is countering the Ulamog and bouncing one of the lands that they target. Something weird like that. Okay, so the opponent does have Ulamog mana, so we are going to counter the Ulamog and bounce one of the lands. Ugh, I don't like making this play. It stinks. This is just such a... This is like a don't lose the game play. So we're countering the Ulamog and bouncing, so they're going to probably go after both Hallowed Fountains. Yeah, alright, so we'll... Counter target spell, return that. Alright, so we're down to 2 lands again. Sure. Cryptic Command's gone. Man, just drawing all of the Restoration Angels. Alright, so we'll take 2. Play a Wall of Omens. Alright. Slowly rebuilding. So now we need our opponent to kind of whiff. That's fine. Looks like they're whiffing. Okay, they have a card. Choose a card. Chosen card we put into the opponent's hand. Alright, you can have a forest. Alright, there's a Wormcoil Engine. So Wormcoil Engine is like, you know, it's a card that we do have to deal with eventually. So, but we can block it with a Wall of Omens and then Restoration Angel the Wall of Omens so that our opponent doesn't even gain life off of it. So our opponent's just going to top stuff. They can have... Oh boy. I guess they can have an Ancient Stirrings. Alright, this Karn's really hard for us to beat, as you can kind of tell. Oh, opponent reveals one. Alright, we're done here. Yeah, opponent found an Ulamog. Alright. So in this matchup, I like the Dovin's Veto. I like the Stony Silences. I like the Surgical Extractions. I like the Disdainful Stroke. Cards I don't like Supreme Verdicts in large quantities. Maybe like keeping one Wrath of God, but you know, I don't want to just keep in a bunch of them. I guess maybe there's some reason to keep a Supreme Verdict, like if they play that one weird colorless counterspell, maybe that card's better. So this will bounce things, allow us to cast stuff. It's probably not great, but alright, so we can cut some number of Wall of Omens. Our opponent disconnected. Oh boy, alright. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Kitchen Finks isn't my favorite in the matchup. It's fine, but it's not great. So maybe we just cut some number of Kitchen Finks also, and maybe like one of the Teferis, something like this. So we got one Verdict, we got two walls of the Fblthp. Maybe we keep in the Teferi and cut one more wall. Yeah, because, I mean, we need ways to kill our opponent. So how we're planning on killing the opponent is just Vendilion Click, Restoration Angel beats. I guess Snapcaster beats also. Yeah, that's probably fine. We'll just do that. Alright, everyone. I think our opponent is disconnected, but I'm just going to talk a little bit here. Double Stony Silence on the play. So this hand does Stony Silence and nothing else. Alright, we're going to keep it. We're just going to hope for it. Alright, and now I'll probably cut this video. Oh no, the opponent's back. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to cut this video. Opponent mulligans to 5. Alright, they put 2 cards on the bottom. So let's hope that the Stony Silence, let's hope that they're on like a really bad Expedition map hand, and the Stony Silence just gets them, and then the second one really gets them, and then we draw lands, and then we win the game. Well, that's where we're going with this. Alright. We play Island and pass. Hopefully the opponent goes Tron Piece Expedition map. Alright, Tron Piece Sphere is probably second best. Alright, we drew a land. That's good. So, Stony Silence. So now it's mulligan to 4. Alright, the opponent concedes. Perfect. Alright. Yeah. Turns out Stony Silence is pretty good in this matchup. We'll just submit. I guess Spell Snare's not very good in this matchup. That's fine on the draw. This counters really only Sylvan Scrying, but when it counters Sylvan Scrying, it's so good, because the opponent's usually really reliant on Sylvan Scrying. So if you have it in your opener, it's really good. Disdainful Stroke, Detention Sphere. I think that's enough to keep. This hand isn't amazing, but it's got lands, and it's got very solid interaction with what our opponent's going to be doing. So Field of Ruin would be obviously probably the best draw. I don't know. Colonnade's not really that good. So like this would be the great opportunity, I believe, for okay. So they're going with the Ancient Stirrings, but if they go, you know, Tron Piece there and then play Sylvan Scrying, and you can counter that. Sometimes they even like miss their next land drop. All right, so they've played the Power Plant. We don't know anything else in their hand. We just keep drawing our stupid Celestial Colonnades. All right. Ooh, they're missing one. All right. All right, let's go Field of Ruin. Come on. All right, Thought Knot Seer. All right, well, we can at least counter that. Jeez, all right. Sure. Ooh, they're just missing their next land drop. That's good. Oh, okay, they found it. All right. Oblivion Stone. That's fine. Sure. Oh, there's Field of Ruin. All right, cool. All right, so we can Field of Ruin and hold up Disdainful Stroke. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so we'll wait for our opponent's draw step, and then we'll do that. Get an island. Then our opponent will cast Thought Knot Seer. We will Disdainful Stroke it. Ooh, Teferi. Nice. Alright, so we're going to just play Teferi and bounce the Oblivion Stone, I guess, and draw a card off of it. Sweet. We even drew a Fblthp. Ooh, there's Stony. Alright, cool. Alright, Thought Knot Seer is fine-ish. Alright, they take the Stony Silence, which is fine. We drew another Snapcaster Mage, alright. So we'll plus that. I guess we'll just Detention Sphere the Thought Knot Seer now. Draw a card off of it. Cryptic Command. Alright. Play that. And get in with a Fblthp. Sure. Opponent's got the Oblivion Stone, which is fine. They do get to blow it up next turn, though, which is a little rough. So we might have to just bounce it with the Cryptic Command. Yeah, I kind of don't hate that. I guess our opponent's pretty close to Tron. Yeah, I guess we can't do that. Alright. Well, alright, so the opponent was going to get to blow stuff up with the Oblivion Stone, which kind of sinks, but... Yeah, alright, so the opponent's just going to blow stuff up with the Oblivion Stone, that's fine. Ooh, Field of Ruin. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do is force the action on it. Alright. That's fine. So they get to look at our hand and exile something. That's fine. Alright, they get rid of Cryptic Command. We draw a card. Oh, it doesn't have a target. Interesting. So return one, return up to one. So if I would have chose nothing, then I still would have drawn a card. That's good to know. Okay. So we'll get rid of that Tron land. And we'll pass the turn. Sure, you can have a Stirrings. find another mine. They play the mine. I will definitely block with a Celestial Colonnade. Okay. Cool. There's Stony Silence. It's very good. Karn's pretty good, though. Alright. So the opponent can have a... Ooh. Jeez. Oh, jeez. This is pretty good. I guess they can have a Drag Tusk, because we can actually counter that. Oh, there's Dovin's Veto. Okay. So... I guess we just play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take it up to 7. Yeah, I think we just go Stony Silence here and Hollowed Fountain tapped and pass. I think that's probably just all. We should have probably just played it untapped. Unsure. Alright, so they're going to put the Sylvan Scrying into... Yeah, I definitely should have played that untapped. Damn it. Alright. So we'll Dovin's Veto that. Yeah, we would have been in very good shape if we would have just... darn it. Alright. Yeah, I think there were definitely some mistakes made this match. Alright, so I think we're just going to pass here, and then we're going to try to flash out a lot of our hand this next turn. So we got to really hope our opponent plays something. That's fine, because we have Stony Silence. They can have a tower, that's fine. Okay. Opponent gets in with the Frag Tusk, that's fine. Alright, so there's a Karn. So we'll let the opponent sacrifice something with the Sanctum of Ugin if they'd like. Ooh, they get an Emrakul. Jeez, alright. Huh. Well, this could be a problem. Alright, so we're going to Snapcaster Dovin's Veto that. Okay, and then we're going to cast a Restoration Angel. Target that. Sure. Teferi. So our opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types, so it's going to cost 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeesh. So we can activate Colonnade here to kill Karn and hit our opponent for 3. Yeah, and then just hold up Snapcaster, Disdainful Stroke. I think that's what we got to do. Alright, so attack you, attack Karn, attack Karn. Alright. So our opponent needs to whiff on a land. Oh, they hit the land, of course. Alright. So we get to... Oh. Alright. Yeah, so now our opponent gets to cast this Emrakul. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna Snapcaster, Disdainful Stroke it. They get to take our next turn. But our next turn isn't that good. Like, okay. Why'd they even... Oh, they're just going to fail to find, sure. Okay. So they get to do that, and they get to play Teferi and bounce. All these are value cards, so they shouldn't even play that. They'll just pass now, I guess. And then it'll be our turn again. We're currently winning this race against this Thragtusk, which is kind of nuts. What are they doing? Okay. Oh, they're going to just try to draw a card and see what happens? This is weird. This is really weird. Okay, there's even some... Oh, minus... Oh, they drew Path. Oh, that's brutal. No. We were in such good shape, too, right up until that. Ah, that's so rough. Oh, I can't believe our opponent's luck. I mean, I guess that's the right thing to do. It's just, it just seems weird to draw a card like that. I don't know. Alright. Ooh, we drew Surgical Extraction. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, attack. So it's 4, 8, or 4, 6, 8. So we're not winning the race anymore. So we are going to have to black the Thragtusk at some point. That stinks. Alright. So now we don't even lose to Walking Ballista. So we're going to, I guess, wait till our opponent's draw step and then surgically extract something. Probably Karn. Yeah, I guess we were to Karn. Oh, they even had a card in hand. Wow. Alright. So what else do they have in their deck? They have Thragtusks. They have 3 Ulamogs in this. Oh, no, we haven't seen an Ulamog this game. Okay. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Cool. Alright, so we're going to go to 2 here. Oh, the opponent doesn't even attack. Okay. Alright. So we will attack with the Celestial Colonnade. And then they're going to be dead next turn, which is cool. Alright. So we just need to have them brick here on Tron. Okay, they don't have it. Good. Cool. Alright, so we're going to tap all creatures our opponents control and draw a card. Sweet. Alright, everyone. Welcome to our final round. We have so far cashed this league, and we're looking to make some money off of it. On the play, we got, yeah, I mean, this hand needs a little bit few more lands, but it's not the worst. We get we get 3 looks at a land, so we're like significantly more than 50% to hit. Ooh, Amulet Titan. Alright, well, Field of Rune's good in this matchup. Blast Zone's also really good in this matchup. Holy crap. So here we're just going to play this Field of Ruin and pass. We are going to use the Field of Ruin when our opponent plays a land, probably. If not, we might path our Wall of Omens. The opponent found a Coalition Relic. Alright. Well, I guess we're just passing then. Unclick's pretty good too. Alright, so we are going to play Island here. The reason why is because I want to be able to blow up this Coalition Relic if we... Or blow up this Amulet of Vigor if we feel like we want to. Opponent obviously doesn't have lands in hand, so there's no reason to path the Sakura Tribe Scout. They didn't play one last turn. Okay, so now they're going to do this. Are we supposed to just do it now? Yeah, probably. Alright, so we'll just do it now. Okay. So they're going to get their Coalition Relic, but they have to bounce a land to the hand. Sure. Alright, so there's a Coalition Relic. That's fine. Alright, so Serum Visions, Reveals, Island. I guess we don't want either of these cards. Are we just going to go with the Blast Zone to blow up the Amulet here? Actually, we get to blow up both of their things. Yeah, let's just do it. Cool. Oh, yeah, they had that land. Okay, sure. Right. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so they currently have 5 lands. Or 5 mana this turn. Okay, they found a Simic Growth Chamber. Which is... Oh, and an Amulet. Jeez, alright. Oh, multiple amulets. Wow. They didn't play the Simic Growth Chamber, even though they had a land drop to play. Huh. Huh. That's really weird. Alright, well, I'm going to draw step Unclick them, I guess. I'd probably do that every turn for the rest of the game, so that's going to be our plan here. Click you. Alright, let's get rid of this primetime. You may have as many lands as you'd like. Sure, so that was their draw for the turn. Yep, you got an Azusa. I do not care. Alright, we will attack you for 3. Sure. Alright, now we're going to kind of restoration lock our opponent with the Vendilion click. Just make sure they don't draw anything. Target you. Okay, didn't draw anything, that's fine. This is fine. Yep. Ooh, even draw a Fblthp, that's nice. Alright, let's play Fblthp. Ooh, Spell Snare. Alright. Well, Spell Snare's not that good in this matchup, but still. I get excited every time I draw Spell Snare. Just a simple kid who wants to draw Spell Snares. Okay. Interesting. I don't think they have blue mana to activate. Oh, they have blue mana there to activate it. Interesting. Alright. So we're going to have to path it. That's funny. Alright. See how many basics they play. Alright, they do play 3. Some lists do not play 3. Some lists play 2. I feel like that's wrong. Alright. So we actually can't kill our opponent here. They weren't dead, but they were going to take 9. They were going to take 13. But okay. Alright, so we win. Alright. So in this matchup, we want Disdainful Stroke. We want... Honestly, Surgical Extraction isn't the worst. It doesn't seem very good, but it might not be the worst. Alright, Dovin's Veto seems pretty good. Dispel's pretty good. I don't like Kitchen Finks. This can bounce things, but I guess our opponent can't. Our opponent can't counter our stuff, which I guess has some upside. Maybe 1 Verdict also. Verdict isn't great in this matchup, so maybe we can cut like a Wall of Omens and bring in like 1 Surgical. We don't want to go like overboard on the Surgicals, but maybe like 1's fine. Submit like that. Alright, how is this hand? Yeah, it's got Click and Field of Ruin and a couple of paths. We'll keep it. It's not amazing, but it's certainly fine. Alright, the opponent doesn't have a super fast start either, which is good. Alright. Just play our white land and pass. Another Ancient Stirrings. Alright, so they know we have, or we know they have Teleria West and Amulet of Vigor. Alright, so here comes the Amulet. That's fine. There's the Resto, so we can start doing the same thing we did the last match. Okay, this is... Alright, I don't think they can play Primetime now. This turn, which is good. Just getting till next turn is really good. They can play a Azusa here, but then they only have 4 mana. Sure. That's fine. Yep. So they'll probably return a Forest and then play the Forest again. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and blow that up. And hold up path. Cool. So now our opponent probably is out of forests, so these paths are just strip, or you know, like they're just like swords to plowshares, kind of, which is kind of cool, I guess. All right, this way they also can't transmute Teleria West, which is another reason I did that. Sure. And they also can't pay for the whatever you call it. They can't pay for Pact of Negation because they don't have double blue. Sure. Okay. They have a lot of mana. Sure. They got a Summoner's Pact. That's fine. And that's fine. You go ahead and get your lands, buddy. Would really like to have had a an Ashiok in the board for today. Just that seems really fun. And I like that, so it's good in this matchup, really good in this matchup, so yeah. Okay, so they're going to get a card and put it in the hand. So this is when I path it, because they can get the card that would let them bounce. Okay, so they have the negate. Interesting, okay. Alright, they got another Summoner's Pact. That's fine. They're out of land drops this turn, so we do have another path. And alright, so we'll play this. Go to their... Oh, there might be some reason to play Verdict here. Yeah, the opponent's not doing anything next turn anyway. They'd have to play, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, Azusa, 2. I don't see a way, so I think we're just going to Verdict here. Yeah, I mean, our opponent could have something there, but I just didn't want to lose to another negate. Like, if we pathed something there, there's a chance that we, you know, if they had another negate or something like that, it could have gone catastrophic for us. So, you know, fortunately, that's not what's going to appear to happen here. They're just going to bog us, which is fine. We only have the 2 Snapcasters in the deck. This isn't a super graveyard-focused deck. All right, so we can Field of Ruin the Simic Growth Chamber, which is just going to be a strip mine, and then Vendilion click them. That seems pretty good. Oh, they do have another forest. Wow. Okay. Well, that's good for them. All right. So during the upkeep or during the draw step, we'll click them. All right. So target our opponent. Hornet Queen, Summoner's Pact. So 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess we got to try to beat a Hornet Queen, so sure. We can, you know, theoretically do it, I guess. Sure. Alright. Well, we got another Verdict in the deck. Oh, there's Cryptic Command, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just play Colonnade and we'll pass. Because I'd like to trade this Vendilion Click with one of the insects. Oh, we also have Detention Sphere in the deck. Right, okay. So we still have 2 Detention Spheres, and yeah. Alright, we got some stuff. We got some answers, don't worry, Queen. Yeah, we'll just take some damage, that's fine. That's fine. Kind of past the point of being able to interact with our opponent on that axis. There's probably no reason to play that. Yeah, I guess we're just... I don't want to path the Hornet Queen. Nah, let's not worry about it. Alright. Teferi. It's not terrible. I guess we're just passing again. Alright. Interestingly awkward here. I don't really know. This is weird. Alright, so we're getting hit for 3 a turn, which isn't, the worst, but we're also not really advancing our board state. Alright, I guess at the end step here, I'll cast Restoration Angel, blink the Vendilion Click, and take a look at our opponent's hand. We know they have Path. Okay, so they're just gonna... Oh, they're gonna Path our Vendilion Click. Sweet. Alright, sure. Dovin's Veto. So we can play this and just plus it. Nah, I don't even really like that. Alright. This is a really weird holding pattern. Alright. So we do have, we have the Path to Exile. So we're not, dead. But the 3 insects are going to be dealing quite a bit of damage to us here. Yeah, you can have an Azusa, that's fine. We're still looking for a board wipe. Alright, that's closer. Spell Snare, Cryptic Command, Land. So bottom, top that, I guess? I don't know, it's weird. We're just holding a bunch of ammunition in our hand for, a later turn, I guess. Opponent must have some good stuff in their hand. I guess the Spell Snare shouldn't be in our deck. We should have cut that. That was probably a mistake. So that'll come out next turn, or next game, I guess. Wow, getting in with 4 this time. Alright. Take it. They're playing a Teleria West. Interesting. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, this makes sense. All right. Sure. We might get Cavern of Souls. Yeah, that's what they get. Alright. So now we're probably just dead. At the beginning of our opponent's combat, I guess we'll... Nah. We'll just let it ride one more turn. I'll do it next turn. Next turn we'll have to start doing this stupid blocking and stuff. It's fine. Yep. Take 3. Down to 3. Still nothing. Alright, so we'll return this, draw a card. Another cryptic command. All right. So now we got to tap down our opponent's stuff at the beginning of combat. There's the verdict. All right, cool. So that's what we've been looking for like this whole time. Oh, I suppose we could have countered that. Maybe we should have. I'm holding the Dovin's Veto for a Pact of Negation, or not the Pact of Negation, the similar. Oh, they found the Tireless West. Damn. All right. Ooh, Dispel's pretty good too. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Verdict. All right, cool. So now we have Dispel Dovin's Veto Spell Snare up, or Dispel Dovin's Veto Path up. We got a lot of things up. Okay, so the opponent appears to have an uncounterable giant. That's fine, because it's uncounterable. Alright, so we'll let our opponent wait and spend some mana on the Primeval Titan. Okay, so they're going to give it haste now, so we will path it. And we want to do this before the others go on the stack. Alright, so that goes away. Cool. Sure, you can have an Azusa, that's fine. Because I'm going to attempt to block it with the Restoration Angel. Bog me. Sure. Oh, they're not even going to give it haste? Interesting. What is this? Oh, Tireless West. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I'll let that resolve too. That's fine. We'll counter that and draw a card. There's Path. That's awesome. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Play a Wall of Omens. Resto. That's not bad either. And we have the Path for that. 3. Yeah, I guess we'll just play this. Yeah, we'll just plus it. That's fine. Cool. Alright, so now the opponent needs to do that, where they lose. Sure. So I have a blocker for the Azusa, I got Spell Snare, Dispel, all kinds of stuff. Cool, opponent concedes, we got the 4-1. Alright everyone, well that was pretty fun. We kind of like staxed him out a little bit there. It was a good deck. I'm not really sure, we didn't really get to test out anything except for the Blast Zone. The Blast Zone seemed really good. The Fblthp was medium. The Teferi was, I guess, good in that game. That's one of the reasons why they conceded, is they couldn't get counterspells anymore. And they were running low or possibly even out of giants and couldn't interact. So overall, I thought it went really well. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Please be sure to like and subscribe the video. Yeah, catch you next time.